Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Sunday Reset video. I hope that your day is going well, and I just want to say thank you for choosing to spend a little piece of it with me today. We're going to get started with today's video in the laundry room, probably one of my favorite rooms in the house. And of course, we're getting laundry started. I always like to start with this because it's something that can just be happening in the background. I don't always show it in my videos, but there's always laundry going. Either me doing my laundry, my husband's laundry, and I do my little boy's laundry, or my big kids doing their laundry. So there's always some kind of laundry going on in my house. And this is also where a lot of things can collect. For example, that basket there on top of the dryer is a catch-all because it leads into the garage where we will go out to the car. So I'm constantly catching things there, putting them away. There's always receipts and mail and all kinds of stuff. So it really does need to be like completely gone through, but that's another story. Along with this closet, oh my gosh, the amount of shoes that are in here, it's insane. I've actually been asked before why we keep shoes downstairs, why the kiddos don't keep their shoes upstairs in their room. And that's because we don't allow for shoes in the house. And so, I shouldn't say that. We do wear shoes downstairs, but we don't allow for shoes upstairs on the carpet. And so bringing the shoes upstairs doesn't really make sense. So we're going to get started with the first project today, and that is putting this sweet little laundry sign from the Hearth and Hand line at Target on the laundry door. Now, obviously, this is not necessary, but I just think it's adorable, and I've always wanted it. I've had my eye on it for many, many years. I was going to put it on my house in Vegas, but I'm excited to have it on this door here. My plan for this door actually in the future, I don't know when, it could be years, but is to have a glass pane door, just like the one I have on my pantry, just like the one I want to put on my basement door as well. That would allow for me to just keep this door closed, but you'll still be able to see it. I love the brick floor in this room. I love the blue cabinets. I just think it's really, really pretty. And so I don't want to completely close it off, but it's really loud when the laundry is going. And so it would be nice to be able to close it. So that is my eventual plan, is to have a door on there that I can see through but still close. But for now, this door will do. It is a big door. It's very wide, just like not the laundry door, but the door that goes into the garage, from the laundry room. They're very big doors, and because of that, it's an expensive door. So it's just gonna have to wait for now. There's other projects that need to happen beforehand, but until then, this sweet little laundry sign will do.
I keep my balance next to you. It's true. Nowadays there's nothing I wouldn't do for you. Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know.
So my primary focus today is going to be here in the kitchen. As you can see, it's a little bit messy. It's really not bad. I had actually been alone in the house for, 3 or 4 hours. My husband, Danny, had taken my boys camping. So if you're new to my channel, my husband and I are both educators. I am an elementary school counselor, and my husband is a middle school resource teacher at a therapeutic day school. So we are off for the summer right now, which has been lovely. I've actually just recently been off. I work a little bit after the school year as a counselor to get some things done. So because we've been home, the house definitely has not fallen apart like it does when we're, in the throes of school. But Danny had taken the boys camping on an all-boy camping trip, and my daughter was off at a sleepover, and so I actually was alone in the house. So I had already been working on things. The house was pretty good. So my primary focus today was to get my stove clean, which takes a long time, and it was really bad. So I'm going to show you in a minute how bad it was. It's actually really embarrassing. My cousin was just in town visiting from Long Island, and hopefully she didn't see how bad it was. It was really, really bad, but it doesn't always get wiped down. So after dinners, my kids do the cleaning in the kitchen. They put all the food away. They do all the dishes. My daughter wipes down all the counters. And 99% of the time, she's really good at keeping everything, clean and wiped down. But sometimes she isn't in the mood to clean the stove, which I totally get. So it had gotten a little bit funky and just needed a really good deep clean. And so that was going to be my primary focus today. All of these dishes that I'm putting away are dishes my son had washed before they left for their camping trip this morning. And I just wanted to get everything put away so that way the counters were clean. Danny had fixed the dog gate on the stairs, though the drill was still in here. It just kind of collects. We live in this house. Things happen. So things just kind of collect as you go throughout the day. And so honestly, I'm just constantly picking up in the house. That's definitely something I have learned over the years, is that I can't ever just let things go. You know what I mean? And I'm constantly moving, constantly picking things up. I am notorious for trashing things. If you leave a cup on the counter, I'm putting it in the dishwasher. Like, I'm just always putting things away, always moving. And I think that's what allows my house to stay, for the most part, pretty picked up. However, it's really picked up right now because nobody's home. But typically when I'm, working in the house, somebody's coming behind me undoing all of the work that I'm doing. So right now the house is really, really clean. And today is actually, when I'm editing this right now, today is the day that everybody is coming home. So I've had 2 glorious days of, a fully clean house. It's been wonderful, but man, I miss those buggers. So I'm glad they're coming home. So just going to get these dishes done and finished up, and then we're going to move on over to the stove. In the sink there, you'll see that I have some popcorn containers. I had gone to Target earlier in the day this day, and in their dollar section, they had the cutest plastic popcorn bins. We used to have a bunch of these, and over the years, they just get used and destroyed. So they were $1. I grabbed 7. I do have a big popcorn bowl that we use a lot of the time. However, this is nice because everybody can have their own and they don't have to share. And if you are a parent, an aunt, a sibling, a human, you know that sometimes sharing is not very easy. So with 5 kiddos, everybody having their own container for their popcorn seemed like a really good idea. So I'm just going to give those a wash and we'll get those put away. And you're going to notice the light coming in and out in today's video. That's because it was cloudy. And so, the light was coming in and out, which made editing a little bit difficult because I try to keep the brightness, up, but I don't know. You can't always work with the weather, you know what I mean? And when you have this many windows, you're kind of, just have to go with whatever Mother Nature gives us. So I am going to get these dishes clean. In the background there, you'll see our cold brew coffee maker, which is what I'm cleaning out now. And this thing needs a good scrub, every couple of days. I don't scrub it down this much in between every single use. I'll rinse out the filter and I give it a good hot water rinse, but I don't always super scrub it every single day, but probably every other brew I have to really scrub it down. And that's because the coffee can be very staining. So as you can see there on the lid, there's a plastic rim to keep it from spilling. And so you got to really, really scrub that down. So I'm using my Scrub Daddy because I want to make sure that it's really clean, especially after that debacle with the Keurig a couple of videos ago. Now I feel like I have to just scrub everything all the time because that was so gross and made me panic. So gonna get this clean and then we're gonna move on over to the stove. And when we're working on the stove, I have to tell you guys about the craziest thing that just happened to me. Okay, friends, moment of truth. Now you get to see how bad the stove actually is. I mean, it's not the worst I've ever had it, but it is really bad and really gross. So the whole thing just needs to be scrubbed down, which, like I said, is a process. It takes a while, but we're going to get it done. So, and like I said, I want to give you a little quick story time. So you guys, we are, and there's Charlie clickety clacking in the background. If you hear, I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone, but the house is very quiet. So every time I start talking into the microphone, she comes over to see if I'm talking to her. God bless her. But we are new to the East Coast. I think I have mentioned that on my channel several times now. So we're West Coast people, new to the East Coast. And one thing that we have discovered is a little bit cray-cray here is mice, the rodents, you guys. It's out of control. And we live like in the forest. So don't get me wrong. I recognize that, there's going to be a lot more nature, and I typically love it. We've had deer in our driveway and our front yard and our backyard. We've had bear tracks in the dirt in our backyard. Like, I am all about the nature, but the mice thing, you guys, I cannot get down for that. Like, they're cute and all. I like to see them outside, but I don't like to see them in my things. Side note, right now I'm spraying down a degreaser. You got to let it sit for 3 minutes. So while that's working, I'm going to go flip over the laundry, and we're going to work on other parts of the stove while that kind of works on, breaking down the greasy parts of the stovetop. So back to my story. So about 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago now, I was driving in my car and I turned on the air conditioning, and there was a really foul smell, and I couldn't exactly tell what it was, but they had just been putting fertilizer down in my yard, and I thought that perhaps that's what I was smelling. Maybe there was some fertilizer on my tires or something like that from the driveway, and I thought that's what I was smelling. Of course, I'm about to say that I was wrong. Really quickly, I'm using this Wyman stainless steel cleaner. I buy it at Home Goods. I wanted to show you it's really cheap there. Always look for cleaning products at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, that kind of thing. Anyway, so I thought that's what the smell was. And then I kept telling Danny, go out and smell my car. My car smells really bad. He went out there to go check it. Of course, the kids always have food and stuff in the back, so there's always something, but there was nothing that was giving off a smell. He's like, babe, I love you, but you're losing your mind. There is no smell, until he drove it. Then he drove my car. He went to go pick up Michaela's boyfriend and their friend, and he turned on the air conditioning, smelt the smell, and the boys were instantly like, oh, we know that smell. That is mouse droppings. We know that smell. You guys, a mouse had gotten into the air system of my car, had completely wreaked havoc on the air filter, and I'm pretty sure that it's still in there. They had to take my car apart as much as they possibly could, and they still never found the mouse. I don't know if the mouse is in there. I don't know if the mouse just left a lot of its, stuff behind for us to know it was there. But now that I look back, there was definitely a mouse in my car, you guys. There were mouse droppings on my floor mats, but I didn't know that that's what it was because I wouldn't know what that looks like. I thought that it was just dirt. So, oh my God, I was so disgusted. Basically wanted to burn my car down, but we just paid it off. I don't want to have a car payment. I love having things paid off. And so Danny bought extra cool scrubbers from Amazon, ones that you just kind of hook onto your drill. And he also bought one of those really fancy steamers to just give my car a really deep clean. He spent an entire day scrubbing my carpets. And he's still cleaning the car. We took it to a mechanic. The mechanic was like, this is very common. Let's check to make sure there's no wires that are chewed. There were not, thank goodness. If that ever happens to you, your insurance will help you pay for that. So there's that. However, he was like, no, you're just going to need to get rid of the smell. So we put in a new filter, and he told us about these car bombs that you can use that help with the smell. And he was like, you're probably going to have to do 3 or 4 of these, but clean the car really good, put in a new filter, run a couple of these bombs, and give it a week or two. The smell should go away. But you guys, like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have PTSD from this because every time I get in the car, even though I don't smell it, I think I smell it, and I'm like terrified to turn on the air conditioning. So it was like 80 degrees the other day, and we were just driving with all the windows down, and I was like, suck it up, folks, because I'm so terrified to turn on the air conditioning. But welcome to the East Coast, huh? And from what I'm hearing, the mice are awful this year. Tell me if they're bad by where you live or if this is something you've ever experienced. And if you have any suggestions on how to keep them out of my car, please let me know. I've gotten a lot of feedback about Irish Spring soap, about laundry, lint stuff, and all these funky smelling things that I can put. And if that's what I have to do, I'll do it. But I really would like something that doesn't smell. I have a very, very strong sniffer, although I would prefer the smell of Irish Spring over mouse droppings. That is 1000% true. But if there's a way to, avoid the mice, Danny has sprayed the garage because I park in the garage. So that means it was in the garage. And he has sprayed it down. He sprayed it for both bugs and for mice. We have mouse traps, which were super hard to find because the hardware store says, that it's so bad this year he can't keep them in stock. So what do I do? And I don't want to hurt the mice. I don't want to poison them. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to hurt the mice. I just want to keep them out of my home and out of my car. So this is where I'm asking for your advice. Any advice that you have for me to help avoid this from happening again, that would be ideal because that was awful. And if they can get into my car, that makes me feel like they can get into anything. And if a mouse is in my house and it crawls across my face, I think I'll die. So, or my feet or anything else. And I know this sounds crazy, but I prefer the scorpions over the mice because they didn't really get into your stuff. They'd come into your house, sure, but you just smush them. Where mice, man, they're everywhere. Anyway, that's my story time. Give me your advice. I'm here for it. And look, the stove in no time at all is shiny again. Have you guys ever invited a friend over to hang with you while you clean? I used to do that all the time back in Vegas. My friend Julia, if you're watching, shout out Jules, but she would come over all the time. I'd go to her house, she'd come to mine, and we would just keep each other company while we did chores. It was the best. It was like you got the most done while somebody was sitting at the counter talking to you, So anyway, that's my story. I'm here for all of your advice, my friends. Really quickly, I'm just going to refill my cleaner bottle. This bottle I had purchased at Walmart in their laundry section. They have these clear bottles and they're wonderful. I just think aesthetically they look really nice and I know what's in it. I'm using the Mrs. Meyer's all-purpose cleaner in the Snowdrop scent. It was a scent for Christmas, but I purchased a whole bunch of them on Amazon, as did my friend Anne. She sent me a bunch. Thank you, Anne. And I did just order some more because I am almost out, you guys. I can't believe it. But I think that whatever they had on Amazon is actually going to be gone soon because I didn't find any of the spray. I actually was only able to get the hand soap. So bummer, but hopefully it comes back again in the Christmas time. It is the best scent. It is more perfumey. It doesn't smell like food, or I don't even know how to describe it. It's just very clean and florally and a very, very pretty scent. So just going to wipe down these counters, which means we are rapidly coming to an end here in the kitchen. I wipe down my counters several times in the day because they're white. They just collect dirt, and you're going to notice Charlie just going bananas in the background. She was just all over the place. I don't know if she was stressed because the boys weren't home. Well, nobody was home but us. I don't know, but she was just back and forth and always under my feet, and she did not want to go lay down and rest this day. That is for sure. So God bless her. But we're going to get these cleaned. I'm going to stop talking for a second, and then we'll check back in here in a minute. So I'm curious, my friends, as I'm sitting here editing and talking so much, I'm wondering, do you prefer a super chatty video like this, or do you prefer more music? Let me know your opinion. I prefer a chatty video. That way I don't always have to be watching. I can just listen and it feels like we're hanging out. Again, having somebody there to clean with you. I'm always listening to a podcast or listening to a YouTube video while I'm cleaning. I have a headphone in right now. I am always listening to something. Do you feel the same way? Do you like that these are chatty, or would you prefer a little more music and less talking? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm just fixing this bouquet here. It had gotten super messed up because it fell, and I couldn't seem to get it right. I did have some hydrangea in there, but they did not survive. So we're moving on to my sink. So I have this big, beautiful Farmhouse sink. I absolutely love it. If you are remodeling or modeling a kitchen, my biggest thing that I would recommend, two things: a good sized pantry and a big sink. A single basin, big sink is wonderful. You can wash anything in here. I can fit my entire trash can in the sink. It is wonderful. I wash my dog in here. Like, it just can fit pretty much anything, and it's lovely. Because it is porcelain, it does get kind of scratched up, but that's no problem. There's two ways that I handle that. One is using Barkeeper's Friend, which I'm doing today. There were lots of scratches that needed to be buffed out, so I put down the Barkeeper's Friend, and I'm using a soft bristle scrub brush to scrub it down really good. And I'm not kidding, it was pristine when I was done. Super hard to get like a shot of that, so I didn't do a before and after, but trust me, this will get your porcelain sink spotless. And then what I would typically do after this is do a bleach soak. So I put 2 to 3 inches of water and a little bit of like a capful size of bleach and just let it soak, and it gets rid of everything. However, I'm out of bleach. So 2 things in my house I'm out of: bleach and Lowry seasoned salt. It's shocking for me. But I need to remember to get both of those things. Normally I would bleach this out and it would make it extra, extra shiny. So those are my 2 suggestions on how to keep your sink clean. But I love my white sink. I love that it's giant, and wouldn't trade this sink for anything. It is a lot of work to keep it clean, but would not trade it for the world. So now we're going to give the kitchen a really good vacuum. Since I was just cleaning the counters and the stove, I just pushed everything onto the floor because I knew I would vacuum. I am using the cordless vacuum that I got from Bee Life. I did show this in a few videos ago. I'll have it linked for you down below. This is a great little vacuum. I've always used, the bigger name brand cordless vacuum. However, this one, I don't have to hold the trigger. I just turn it on. I was moving my cat's toy there, by the way. But this one, I don't have to hold the trigger, which is nice because I have really terrible tendonitis in my arm, which makes my grip really hard, and I have arthritis in my hands. So not having to hold the trigger the whole time has been lovely. Next up, I'm going to be working on this faux plant that I just picked up at Michael's. I picked up this beautiful floral pot. It was $24.99, but it was on sale for 70% off, along with this faux plant here, which was $29.99. However, it was 70% off. So it is a faux ficus, and I wanted something to put upstairs on the buffet at the top of the stairs on that landing that I didn't have to worry about watering. I had put a real plant up there, constantly forgot to water it. I needed something that wasn't going to die if I forgot about it, which these plants are lovely. I had recently picked up the faux fig that's in my living room, and because they were on sale, I had to take advantage. So love, love, love the way this looks up here. It's so very pretty, and it's a nice little segue into the kids' bedrooms. And I know you guys have been asking me for a whole house tour. I promise that is coming. It's really hard to have everybody's rooms clean at the same time, but I'm working on it, and hopefully I can have that up for you here in the next couple of weeks. But I do have this beautiful gallery wall up here at the top of the stairs that I can see from downstairs. I love it. And I do have a video of redoing this whole section up here. So definitely take a look at that if you're interested. And now we're just going to finish up in the dining room here. I'm showing you these cool little waterproof phone holders that we had got on Amazon. So we have a boat on a lake here, and we're out there constantly, and everybody wants to bring their phones. I especially want to have a phone, usually mine. Danny usually forgets his, but so that way if there's an emergency, which we actually had happen on the 4th of July, we ran out of gas. So having a phone is very, very important. However, I don't want my phone to get ruined because they're expensive and I cannot afford another one. So I picked up those waterproof containers or waterproof packages or phone holders, whatever we want to call them, from Amazon. They had really good reviews, and we'll see how they go. So I'll have them linked in my Amazon storefront if you're in need or on the hunt. They were very, very affordable, and they came with 4, so that was perfect. So gonna go ahead and get the dining room cleaned back up, and we're gonna get some laundry folded, that laundry that we had going. And then I think we're gonna wrap this up, my friends, because then I was gonna go film a cook with me. So let's just finish cleaning up this space, and we'll be ready to go for the rest of the day. Folding laundry in this laundry room, by the way, now that the lawn is done and we have the garden done, it's so lovely. I can see the plants and the garden. I can see straight down the driveway from right here, and I love it. It's just such a warm and inviting space, and I love to be in here. And for as much time as we spend in here, and we do, it's a good thing that I really, really like it. So I also just wanted to mention that in my Amazon storefront, I do have a link for our hanging rack there. It is an industrial pipe hanging rack, and I wanted something that looked kind of farmhousey, but I needed a place to hang clothes, and I didn't want it to be like across the window. We could have put another cabinet on this side and then put a hanging rack in between the two, but that would mean that I would need to hang clothes in front of the window, which completely defeats the purpose, right? So putting it here seemed like the wise thing to do. And you're going to see in a minute that I hang clothes that are dry and hung up here on this rack. And that's because Danny likes to organize his clothes too. So I just put them up there until the laundry is done. And when he is back, he'll put them away in the closet the way he likes them. And that, my friends, is it for this Sunday Reset Clean with Me. I hope that you found this both relaxing and motivating. That is always my goal for these videos. I feel the same when I watch other Clean with Me's or other home content. I feel relaxed and yet motivated to get up and get something done. So hopefully you feel more motivated than Lion does here. But equally as relaxed, my friends. And again, thank you for choosing to spend part of your day with me. I would love for you to consider giving this video a thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on any of the things we discussed today. Remember, I'm looking for some advice on the mice. I'm curious about your thoughts on chatty Clean with Me's, and of course, anything else that you want to share with me. So until the next video, my friends, I hope that you guys have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care.